Hello, welcome back to my broadcast. Hi Jody. So I'm ready to start knitting on the LK150 on the baby blanket I'm doing stripes. I finished picking up the stitches along the edge and now I have to do 20 row stripes. So I'm going to get right to it. Oh, I guess I should announce myself. I'm Leanne. I'm the owner of Knitting Today. And my website is knittingtoday.com, and I have a community that I'm building for knitters called clubknit.knittingtoday.com. And what I'm knitting on the machine here is going to be saved for the community to be used as a reference. So I'm not going to be able to see your comments while I'm knitting, but I'll be glad to talk to you after I'm done. I'm going to knit a few rows, 20 row repeats on a stripe on a baby blanket. It's a hand knit pattern that we have put on the knitting machine. So pardon me for not, it's not that I'm not being friendly, it's just that I can't see the comments while I'm knitting on the machine. Also, I'm fighting a cold, so excuse me. This here, right now I'm knitting white, and it's a fingering weight yarn knit on tension 4 on the Silver Reed LK150. The tension that we're knitting at is 14 stitches and 20, the ratio we're knitting is 14 stitches to 20 inches. We're knitting at 5.5 stitches to the inch. And this blanket is 4 squares. We knit this first, and it's 20 row stripes of red and white, and then we hung the stitches from the side edge and knit 4 row stripes of green and white, and now I'm doing blue and white back to the 20 row stripes. So this is we're on row 9, and that's 1 row. And so I just have to make sure that my yarn is coming out smoothly, that my edge stitches are knitting without problem. It's really important that the edge stitches are knitting without problem because those edges are going to be picked up, the outer edge all the way around, and Cynthia, this is for my friend Cynthia, is going to be hand knitting a lace edging. So let's see if I can't get some Fitbit points in here while I'm going back and forth. Yesterday I did Tuesday is the last time I knit on this. I did side-by-side movements, which is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be standing sideways. So that's row 19, 18, 19. And you know what? I am going to stop on the right hand side for my color changes because we want those color changes to be on the inside of the blanket, not on the outside of the blanket. So I'm going to stop at row 19. Let me just see if I did that. Here's my chicken scratch from what we did on Tuesday for the other blanket. I did 21 rows. So I'll do 21 rows here. So that's 20 and 21. And over here, I'm going to take the white out of the carriage. And I'm just going to bring it all the way over. Oh, you know what? I forget. We're 20 row repeats, so I'm going to clip this yarn. And she can weave that tail in later. Now we thread up the blue, and I leave about a 6-inch length at the bottom and put a little tension on it and start knitting. So my 20 rows is going to be actually row 41. I'm going to turn the row counter. I guess you can't see that. I just turned the row counter back so that I'm on an even number 20. So I know when I've knit row 40 then that I need to switch, even though I knit an extra row. And when you change colors, I'm going to hang a clip on those ends of the color changes. These are claw weights, and I'm going to reposition them. Let's see here, so you can see. I'm going to move, right now they're just kind of hanging here, and I'm going to move the metal bars here are just providing a little extra weight. They're really not serving a purpose, except they're keeping the stitches pulled down. So as I knit the row, the carriage can do its job. So there's row 2, row 3, and boy, the blue is kind of hard to see in my lighting, so I'm kind of going by feel, but I'm not having any problems with it jumping the, with the stitches not forming properly or whatever. And I have to go for 200 rows, so 10 sections. So you can see how this would get kind of boring for you to watch. For, I don't know, I guess I'll keep the broadcast on. That was 10 rows. We'll see how long it takes me, just out of curiosity, to knit 200 rows. We'll just pray for no problems. Although, it's kind of nice sometimes to have problems so I can do a troubleshooting session. Down the road, I'm hoping that my clubknit.knittingtoday.com members will be available to participate in Blab sessions. And by, I don't know if you're familiar with Blab, but I can have up to 4 cameras being broadcast, and so I'm thinking that it would be a great way to do a troubleshooting class where I can see somebody else's camera. And okay, so there it was 20 rows, and now I'm changing color again. Row 1 of the white, making sure that end needle just keeps knitting. So are you guys still hanging in there? If you are, why don't you give me some hearts? Let me know if things are going okay. Did you see that? Did you feel that catch? Nah, I felt that catch. Did you see me pause? It didn't, checking this end stitch, yeah, it did not knit properly. So, there's a couple stitches that didn't knit properly. So let me just see if we can zoom in so you can see me repair that. Oh, okay, so what you're looking at, so the camera is a little high. And since it's white on white, I can see that's a difficult color to see, but this loop right here did not knit, and so I'm going to just put the stitch behind and pull it through and knit that off. And the end stitch did not knit, the second to the end stitch didn't knit either, and then the end stitch. So what that tells me is that I don't have enough weight on the end, and I'm going to move my claw weights up. So see there, the claw weights. Okay, I'll zoom back out. And the claw weights are down here 20 rows below. So I'll have to be a little more cautious about making sure the claw weights are brought up a little more regularly so that they have some weight on those end stitches. And sorry for that, but I will move camera back out so you can see in general. I was going this direction, so I'm going to keep going. And that's row 4. Just put a little extra weight. Yep, those knit just fine. So they'll probably be fine from here on out. And so I have to make sure that the carriage goes to the end of the row and releases, but you don't have to go too far beyond the end of the row. So that's 7. We need some background music here, some jams in it too, don't we? 9. And that's 10. And we're going to row 20. I'm just making sure that end stitch is catching okay. Like I said, Cynthia is going to be, oh, I see here where it didn't catch. Now, I use this tool right here to fix stitches. So, can you see that? It is, I gotta get used to the camera angle here. It is a double-ended latch hook, and we call it a seed stitcher. And so when I can use it for hand knitting or machine knitting to fix stitches. So yeah, this one is made out of 8mm needles, and we manufacture them at knittingtoday.com. You can find it on my eBay store, which is Bond Knitter, BONDKNITTER, but I also sell them on knittingtoday.com. You want to look for seed stitcher. Sometimes we call it the fix-it tool, but oh, it'd be nice if you could see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, it's white on white. I don't have any dark fabric I can put behind, but what I'm doing is pushing the tool. Let's see if we can. I have the camera on a tripod. Oh, and there's. Okay, so there's the tool. You see that okay? And when you're knitting on the machine, the purl side is facing you. So we have to fix stitches from the knit side, which is underneath the machine. So with this tool, I can either pull to the front or pull to the back. If I do from the back, it will make a purl stitch. So I have the stitch on the latch, and I'm going to pull the tool toward the back, grab the rung, and pull the stitch through. And then come back for the next one, grab the rung and pull it through, go to the next one, rung and pull it through, and then I bring it to the front and I rehang it. And this stitch here did not work properly either. So I'm going to do the same thing. This is only 2 rungs. One. You got to come under. So we'll come under, grab the rung, pull it through, and that has fixed those stitches. Okay. So we'll just do a visual check and make sure that there hasn't been a whole lot of other stitches messed up. Oh, did I stop the broadcast? Ah. Okay, am I still going? Can you guys see me okay? All right, good. I thought I hit the broadcast and stopped it. Okay, so I didn't. So I'm just going to come back over here. Oh, huh. Can you see that mess? Right here. Yeah, right there. So we have some repair work to do right there too. And I think the problem is that I probably don't have enough weight. I don't mind having a skip stitch every once in a while, but not not several in a row. So I'm just going to fix this and not really talk my way through it. Because I have to go down a few rows here. I think I'm going to go ahead. Okay, this stitch here is fine. I think this stitch here is fine except for that last row. It appears to be this one that's a problem. And I don't know if you noticed what I just did, but I dropped that stitch off the needle. I'm going to stick the tool in below where it needs to be and reach behind and make sure I catch these in the right order because they're crossed, since they are messed up on the stitch next to it as well. Get that one out of the way. Sorry, I have a cold, so I sound terrible. All right. So I dropped the stitch. How's that for good going? Y'all hanging in there? I'll catch on the replay to see if there are any questions, I guess. And then I can answer them on the blog. Okay, so here we go. I'm right-handed, so when I try to do things left-handed, it really causes problems. Okay, there we go, that's fixed. And see right here, I have to fix the stitch too. So we'll drop this one down and stick the tool in, drop those stitches, and then just, so from the back, I catch the rung, bring it up, catch the rung, bring it through the stitch, open the latch, catch the rung, bring it through the stitch. And the action of opening the latch is pushing the stitch that's on the latch already behind the tool. So it makes it easy to catch the rung. So there we have that stitch fixed. And now I have these two that just haven't knit. So what's happening when the needle comes forward, it opens the latch, grabs the new yarn, pulls it through. So it's the same action that I did from behind with the tool, but that time I did it with the needle itself. Okay, I'm not liking that. I think maybe if that's the same stitch I fixed before, I put them in the wrong order, the rungs. So we'll just drop it off and putting a little downward tension to open that knitting up so I can get into the stitches. Okay, so there. Okay, now, does that look better? It's a little tight right at the knitting. Here's another one. You guys can't see it. I'm over about 10 stitches. I'll zoom out here. Let me fix this before I drop it. The other thing is there's a little bit of forgiveness in the knitting. When it comes off the machine, it shrinks widthwise. It's being stretched widthwise right at the moment. Okay, now I'm going to readjust so you guys can see. Here we are. How's that? Is that good? And so we're on row 53, and I need to go to row 60 and make a color change again. What did I say? Did I jinx myself about not having any problems? I'm just going to pay a little closer attention. I might step in front of the camera because I want to pay attention to these end stitches. Yeah. They are really not getting enough weight. So I'm going to have to move that end weight up about every 10 rows. That was 56. Seven. And I have to go to row 200, so I don't know if you want to hang out and watch me just fix mistakes and change colors and all that. You're welcome to. Keep me company. And that's row 60. And I felt it grab. Same place. Same place, same needle, and so this is a warning sign that something is wrong with that needle, I think. We will fix it and see. It really slows me down if I have to be fixing 2 stitches or 3 stitches every couple of rows, so we don't want to have to do that. And with the lighting being very gray outside today, oh, I'm sorry, I'm right in front of the camera. Okay. With the lighting being very gray outside today, it's very dark in here, so because I have brown carpet and knotty pine walls. Okay, I just lost that stitch, so we'll come down a couple more stitches and run it back down and then ladder it back up. Sorry I didn't do a close-up so you could see what I'm doing. Anyways, so that stitch, those stitches that are not doing well, yeah, they just, I don't think they have enough weight on them. So I'm going to move the metal. Cast on, these are cast on combs, but really I'm using them as weights just to give it an extra little bit. Normally with a DK weight yarn or a worsted weight yarn, you don't really need the extra weight, but this is a fingering weight yarn and I'm knitting it on a size tension 4. Okay, so I'm going to cut my yarn and thread up the blue, and I'm holding both tails. This carriage, these needles are forward, and I have the lever set to the Roman numeral 2 so that it will knit those needles. There we have row 1, and I'm going to hang a clip on the tails so that gives them enough weight so they knit on the next row back. The other thing that can cause stitches not to knit properly, besides a weight issue, is if there's too much tension on the yarn. So there doesn't seem to be. It's flowing nicely out of the ball, but that would be something that you need to be cautious of if you're hand winding your yarn, or if you're using a ball winder and you wind it too quickly. It can cause your yarn to be wound too tightly and then it wouldn't come freely out of the ball. Let's see how those, yes, those needles seem to be doing just fine now. That's 9 rows, and this is the 10th. And so I'm going to move my claw weight up on the edge here and just double check that everything seems to be knitting okay. I really like this yarn. It's a hand-dyed yarn. I don't have the ball band, but I believe it's from Plucky Knitter. Okay, something just skipped. I don't see a problem stitch. And it could be that it's just because it's blue and I'm having a hard time, like I said, with the gray day seeing. I need my OT lights set up and shining on my knitting here. You're supposed to knit with both hands on the carriage and stay centered in front of the machine. And I'm doing, walking back and forth with one hand because I'm trying to get some activity steps in for my Fitbit. Maybe I should set up some kind of an exercise routine to count how much side-to-side movement I get. Okay, we've done 40 rows. And yes, that needle screwed up again, twice. Definitely something going on there. Oh, can you see this okay? This stitch, this needle. I believe it's the same needle that I've been having trouble with. I have to reach around behind here. And a little downward pressure. I'm using the seed stitcher or the fix-it tool that we make out of Bond knitting machine needles, which, by the way, that company is no longer producing machines, so I knit on that machine for 20 some years. But okay, so that's fixed and I'm ready to do a color change again. Almost halfway there. This next color will put us halfway there. One thing I did not talk about was making sure that the carriage is in, the yarn is in the carriage at the beginning of the row. That is something that's very important to make sure. When I was knitting this project on Tuesday, I accidentally put it in feeder 2 and didn't put any tension on it, and the end result was keep an eye on that needle. I think I'm gonna have to switch that needle out, which is not easy on the LK150. Here it is, this one. This one right here. So instead of using the tool this time, I'm just going to use the machine to fix it. See if I can figure out why, if the latch isn't opening properly, or just what's going on there. It did not knit again. Okay. Remove the weight under it and see if that helps. Okay, knit okay going that way. It did not knit coming back. Interesting. So it's time for a little troubleshooting session. checking to see if there's anything in the needle channel, and I don't see anything. I just need to get to row count 200. Just get me to 200. Okay, and knit just fine that time. Well, maybe it's just a weight issue. Huh, did not knit again. And it's okay this way. Did it okay that time. Did it okay. That time my end needle didn't knit because there's not enough weight on it. 5 more rows to go. And we can switch colors again. Nope. I think it's something to do with my standing sideways. I'll have to test that out and see. That one and fix the end because I don't have enough weight. Okay, so let's see if standing center and not pushing on one direction or other of the okay that time. That's row 99 and row 100. So I'm halfway through with my striping. I didn't put the weight up on this. Move my weight up closer. I'm sorry if anybody's asking me questions, but I can't answer them while I'm knitting. I've got to be looking at the machine. So I'm going to just stand straight to the machine instead of walking side to side. The benefit of that, hopefully you can hear me okay, is that I can go faster as well. Let's see. Yeah, just want to make sure that you are seeing as much as you can without my body in the way. Why that stitch only missed when I was knitting with the white. Doesn't seem to be doing that with the blue. more rows. And I'm knitting 140 stitches. Which happens to be all the needles I have. I guess I've taken my extra needles out of the ends for some reason, because it is the LK150 and there's supposed to be 150 needles. At one point in time I had broken my needle bed, and so when you look at the numbers from the top down, you'll see that my number strip is missing because I had to replace that needle bed. Seems to be doing okay if I'm standing right in front of the machine. So I'm going to position you over to the other side for a little while. And let's see how it goes. How is that position? Can you see the machine okay? So weird. I'm asking questions but not getting answers. I'm going to have to figure out how to do some kind of a two-way broadcast so that I can actually have somebody talking to me while I knit. I'd deliver this at 4:30 Eastern time, and it's already 3 o'clock. I'm really delayed because I just don't feel good. And of course, these stitches that aren't knitting is not doing me any favors. Two more rows of white. Okay, 3. Oh, that ends stitch well because I had to move the weight. I'll have to get some more claw weight. So that's 40. Two more color sections. Wait, I'm supposed to end with blue. Am I gonna end with blue? 40. This is going to go to 60, 80. Yes, I will. Okay. So 3 more color sections. Are we bored yet? Yeah, that would be fun. I'm just going to and then show how to put it off on this one. You're back, Arlene. And stick it out to the end, yeah. Okay, that's 60. Okay, let's do another section of white. I'll be glad to move on. Can you imagine hand knitting this project? I do not like to hand knit stockinette stitch, which is probably the best reason I own the machine. Those last 20 rows of blue went lickety-split. Now this white's giving me trouble again. I wonder if it's how the tension is. When I get down here toward the end and there's a tension mass up here crossing, I wonder if that's causing extra problems. Here's the other thing to be watching out for. I'm going to run out of yarn before my 20 rows if I'm not careful. I'm at 70. What do you think? Am I going to make it to 80? I'm going to. Maybe one row short. Nope, I'm going to make it just about 79. Oh, I didn't move that claw weight all the way up. So standing in front of the machine has definitely made a difference in how well the stitches knit. I guess I can't do my Fitbit anymore, except I got 2 skipped stitches right here. Being right-handed, it's not easy to get behind on the left-hand side, but we can do that. Oh, I got some more right here too. Guess I shouldn't have touched that claw weight. I really don't worry too much if I drop the stitch and it runs down even further. I just put the tool in way below where I've dropped it. Well, this might be a bigger mess. Wouldn't you know, I just have 20 rows to go, and I can take this off onto waste yarn. But a little bungle there when I move the claw weight up, I think. I'd rather have it, this is a special blanket project for a friend, and I want to fix any of those issues, any of the, I don't want the slip stitches because they show on the right side pretty good. I really don't want that. They probably won't show that much in the blue, but they show in the white. One or two might be okay, but not a whole row of them. So just double check across the row before I switch colors. I love talking to myself. Usually I have music on or something to break up the sound. This one here was about 17 rows down, so it'll take me a little bit to bring it back up. My eyes are starting to itch from my cold too. There we go. Now that was row 20 of the white, and we're going to switch to blue, and I need to knit 20 more rows, and this section is done. One problem I just thought of is that my waste yarn is navy blue, and that is going to be a little difficult for her to use to pick up the edging off of the blue. Hand dyed, so I am going to knit a row of ravel cord. 95, 5 more rows. And that is the end of the 200. Okay, so a row of ravel cord. And I just have this kite string that I use. I'm going to have to restock on that this season. And I hold it, let that feed through my fingers. I don't think I have enough to get through the whole, across the whole row. Yeah, I don't. But I have another strand of it here, so I'm gonna just overlap and knit it out to the end. Okay, and now I'm going to switch to the blue waste yarn, which again is a fingering weight. I usually use a cotton waste yarn. I sell a cotton called Desmonte cotton, and that's what I usually use for waste yarn, but it's a worsted weight, and she's going to be picking this up with small knitting needles to finish the edging. So I want to make sure and give her a nice edge to knit from. And I'll just knit, since it's a fingering weight yarn, I'm going to knit about 10 rows of waste yarn. And then what's going to happen is she's going to go across the waste yarn rows, pick up the stitches on a hand knitting needle, and pick up the stitches on the other edges that are not on waste yarn, and knit a lace border around the whole thing. So let me get all of the weights off here without snagging the yarn. And let's see what we have. Hi Arlene. Here we go. What do you think? I'm looking in the camera. Nothing is zooming out at me. How's the pickup look? Turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think I should have maybe, after picking up, I should have probably knit on a size 3 maybe tension. I'll do that on the next section. Okay, so now the next section is knit, it is yellow and white. Oh, I see some boo-boos. They're not noticeable on the front. They're more noticeable on the back after you get them off the machine. There's about 4 of them that I missed. Hi. Yeah, now I need to knit the small stripes, the white and the yellow combined. So we have already, Cynthia and I talked about it yesterday, and we decided I was not going to do seam as you go on the one side, because but I'm wondering if maybe I should. Anyways, I'm gonna have to pick up the long edge and give it a try. So I'm gonna stop the broadcast and take a break, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for coming. Leanne from knittingtoday.com, and the website, my community for knitters, is clubknit.knittingtoday.com. Thanks.